Sly Stone wasn't just a funk pioneer. He was a mystery. The man who once lit the world on fire with everyday people and family affair disappeared from the industry just as fast. But what most fans don't know is this. Some of the biggest legends in music begged to work with him, and he refused. Why would Sly Stone turn down Prince, George Clinton, and even Stevie Wonder? Was it ego? Was it fear? Or was there a much darker story behind the scenes? Keep watching, because this is the untold truth of the artists Sly Stone refused to work with, and why. When Prince burst onto the scene in the late 70s, he wore his influences on his purple, ruffled sleeves. Among them, no name loomed larger than Sly Stone. Prince once said, "If there was no Sly, there would be no me." Naturally, a collaboration between the two seemed destined. But when Prince reached out privately in 1982, Sly didn't even respond. The silence wasn't because he was unaware. It was intentional. Backstage at a music industry party, a close associate of Sly's recalled him saying, "Prince doesn't need me. He just wants my shadow." That one sentence exposed the bitterness lurking in Sly's mind. By 1982, Sly was living in seclusion, battling drug addiction, lawsuits, and depression. He'd been burned by the industry, accused of being difficult, manipulative, and unpredictable. But the truth ran deeper. Sly saw Prince not as a protege, but as a threat. Prince was everything Sly had once been: young, revolutionary, and mysterious. But unlike Sly, Prince still had control over his narrative, and that made Sly furious. The few people close to Sly during that time said he felt Prince was using his style without paying spiritual respect. It wasn't just about music. It was about identity theft, funk royalty being usurped by a younger king. Prince, on the other hand, remained respectful in public. But sources say he was devastated by the rejection. He even recorded several tracks with Sly's vibe in mind, hoping Sly would eventually cave. But Sly never did. It was a missed moment in funk history. Two titans, divided by ego, silence, and pain. And yet, this wasn't the last time Sly would shut the door on greatness. Stevie Wonder had a vision. He wanted to create the ultimate soul funk project, melding his melodic genius with Sly's unpredictable magic. The goal was clear: revive Sly's career and push the boundaries of popular music. In 1977, Stevie sent a handwritten letter to Sly's management. He offered studio time, full creative control, and a guaranteed feature on his next album. Sly read the letter, then crumpled it up. Why? Insiders say Sly believed Stevie was too clean, both musically and personally. While Stevie Wonder had risen above industry politics and kept his personal life spotless, Sly had sunk into paranoia and substance abuse. He didn't trust anyone who hadn't tasted the darkness he had. In Sly's words, "You can't make real funk if you ain't been broken." That paranoia extended to the studio. He refused to enter sessions with anyone he thought might steal his groove. Even Stevie Wonder. Sly believed Stevie's positivity diluted the chaos that made funk real. He wanted grit, not sunshine. That philosophical clash became the invisible wall between them. In later years, Stevie would say, "Sly was one of the only artists I wanted to build something with, but he built walls instead of bridges." To fans, it's a heartbreaking alternate universe. Imagine a world where superstition met "Thank you for letting me be myself." But to Sly, that world was a threat to his pain-fueled identity. This was the pattern. Every offer to collaborate became an attack on his independence. And that pattern would only intensify as more legends came knocking. If there was one person who understood Sly Stone's creative madness, it was George Clinton. Parliament Funkadelic was born from the same rebellion that had fueled Sly's rise. They both turned music into a colorful, chaotic, cosmic experiment. So when George Clinton said Sly was the godfather of it all, he meant it. But admiration didn't equal access. In the mid-1980s, George Clinton made it his mission to pull Sly Stone out of isolation. Clinton had just battled through his own drug issues and label fights. If anyone could relate to Sly, it was him. He reached out through intermediaries, friends, even Sly's estranged bandmates. He offered co-headlining tours, a joint funk opera, shared producer credits. But every message returned the same way: ignored. George Clinton, in his autobiography, recalled a moment when he finally got Sly on the phone. It lasted less than 90 seconds. Sly didn't say hello. He just whispered, "They'll kill you if you get too close to the sun." Then he hung up. At first, Clinton laughed it off. Classic Sly, cryptic, strange, paranoid. But as months passed, it became clear Sly wasn't being dramatic. He was scared. Clinton later told Rolling Stone, "I think Sly believed he had seen too much. Industry secrets, politics, personal betrayals. He didn't want it to be pulled back into that." And there was another layer to the rejection: Clinton's success. In the 80s, while Sly's name was fading, Clinton's star kept rising. Funk was everywhere, from samples and hip-hop to the charts to collaborations with Prince himself. Sly reportedly told a friend, "George became what I could have been if I hadn't trusted the wrong people." It wasn't bitterness toward George personally. It was bitterness at the system that chewed him up and spat him out. Clinton still tried. He left a spot open for Sly on several tracks. He even saved a verse on Atomic Dog for Sly to fill. But it never happened. In a 1990 interview, Clinton summed it up with a sad smile. "Sly's not dead, but he's unreachable." And just like that, the collaboration that could have redefined funk for a new generation died quietly, without a single note played. But perhaps the most shocking story of all, the one that even George Clinton couldn't believe, was who Sly almost worked with next. Of all the artists Sly Stone refused to work with, one name stands out as the most unexpected: Bob Dylan. The voice of protest, the folk icon, the Nobel Prize-winning poet. Why would Bob Dylan want to collaborate with Sly Stone? In 1986, Dylan was going through one of his more experimental phases. After dabbling in gospel, synths, and rock ballads, he wanted something raw, unpredictable, something American but totally unfiltered. And he thought of Sly. A mutual contact, reportedly Quincy Jones, set up a quiet dinner between them in Los Angeles. It wasn't an official meeting. No handlers, no press, just two legends and a dimly lit restaurant booth. Sly showed up late, wearing sunglasses and a coat despite the heat. Dylan ordered whiskey. Sly didn't touch his drink. They talked for 2 hours. According to an anonymous source present that night, Dylan pitched an idea: a concept album exploring the American nightmare, racism, addiction, political betrayal, and hope. Sly would compose the music. Dylan would write the lyrics. They would record it in secret and release it under a fake name. Sly listened carefully. He nodded, smiled, asked Dylan about Woody Guthrie. And then, near the end, he said something that shocked everyone. "If I write music for you, they'll kill me." Dylan reportedly laughed, thinking it was a metaphor. But Sly was dead serious. He told Dylan, "The truth is too expensive, man. I already paid once." After that night, Sly disappeared again. No more calls, no more meetings, not even a follow-up. The project never materialized. Years later, Dylan would reference the meeting in vague terms during an interview. "There was a cat I wanted to work with once. Genius. But he lived in a different world, and I couldn't reach him." Fans have speculated ever since that the cat was Sly Stone. And now, through industry whispers and confirmed timelines, it's all but certain. What haunted Sly that deeply? Was it just drugs? Was it guilt? Or did he genuinely believe that collaborating with these artists would destroy what little soul he had left? In his autobiography released decades later, Sly wrote one cryptic line that may offer the answer. If you sing with the devil, don't be surprised when the choir disappears. It's not clear who the devil was. But one thing's certain, Sly didn't just refuse artists. He refused the very idea of being seen again. And in doing so, he left behind not just a broken career, but a trail of what-ifs that still haunts music history. Now that you've seen the truth behind Sly Stone's most shocking refusals, ask yourself, was Sly protecting his legacy or running from it? What if he had said yes to Prince, to Stevie, to George Clinton, to Dylan? Would funk and soul sound completely different today? Let us know in the comments who you think Sly should have worked with. And if you want more stories like this, twisted, emotional, and buried under years of mystery, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell.